So I was just working things out. We're going to do a quick hymn sing. We're going to start with number 348. It's a 348, Guide My Feet. Well, we'll play it through once, and then we'll start singing. 1, 2, 3, 8. It's 118, this little light of mine.
Come. Yeah, don't disturb me.
Good morning. Welcome to the Community Church of Chapel Hill, Unitarian Universalist. My name is Eric Conrad. I'm a member of the Worship Associates Ministry here at the church. I would especially like to welcome any visitors or newcomers to the church and to call your attention to a special note for you entitled Welcome Guests and Newcomers, which is on the back of the order of service. I would also like to welcome those of you who are online. Lyrics to hymns and all elements of the service may be found on your screen, and a complete order of service, including this week's announcements, is available via the link in the Sunday morning email and also on the church website. Whoever you are, whomever you love, however you arrived at this beloved place, you are welcome here. We have a Sunday social in the other building immediately following the service. Please turn off or silence any cell phones during our service to maintain a worshipful experience. We also have two within these walls announcements, first by Bonnie and the second by the special agents.
I think I need a theme song, don't I? It's just not there. All right, good morning. 5 weeks ago, we kicked off the 2024-2025 annual pledge drive. Each week, you heard incredible testimonials from members of the congregation about their connections to the church, how strong they are, how important they are to them. I want to take a moment to thank them for sharing. Danvers and Augie, Lois and Bronwyn, Doug and Joan. Their stories were thoughtful and inspiring, and I really appreciate them stepping up and doing that. I also want to say thank you to those in the congregation who have already pledged. Pledging early helps Reverend Thom, the board, and our treasurer craft a budget for next year. It helps making sure that we can meet our commitments to each other. If you have not yet pledged, the pledge form remains open. All the materials are online, and I am happy to answer any questions you have. Talking about stewardship is one of my favorite things, truly, and I really am. I know, it's me. And I really am happy to talk with anybody about it. The generosity model is the basis for our church stewardship vision, which says that when everyone contributes as generously as they can, we will be able to fully fund the church resources we need to nurture our spirits, care for one another, and change the world with our love, like the day of service yesterday. Financially, we are closing in on our goal of being able to fully fund our budget. If we continue at this pace, we might even set a new record. It's hard. I will be tabling for the annual pledge drive one last time this year, so please stop by to complete a pledge form if you haven't done so. I also have my tablet. You can do it online. Ask a question. As I said, I'd love to chat. Or just say hi, and I can say thank you to you for pledging. And throughout the year, please continue to build your church connections by attending services, participating in the events like the day of service, or even chairing or co-chairing the annual pledge drive. Come on. Know that we are here for each other, and that what you donate is being managed well, and that the time and talent and trust you bring to this church is appreciated. Thank you again.
The 2024 Day of Service has come and gone. Our mission was accomplished. Over 250 UUers joined together to eat, laugh, meet new friends, share time with loved ones, and most importantly, provide needed service to our greater community, over 700 hours. Special agents were dedicated to their missions, and many worked overtime and went back after lunch to make sure the mission was accomplished. We celebrated the end of the Community Church Pledge Drive, and as one astute person shared yesterday, we ended our giving with more giving. Everything was not perfect. It did not all go as planned, but perfection was not the mission. Living our UU principles was, and we surely accomplished that. For the past 5 years, the Day of Service is our special day to act in community. It's many things. It's multi-generational and joyful. It's full of love and caring vibes. It's filled with amazing music and food. And someone had a great idea, by the way, in this room right now, to create a community church cookbook to offer at the auction, so I'm going to hold them accountable for that. A chance to create new connections and learn about each other. Fun fact, did you know that one of our congregants went to a cocktail party with the Beatles in New York City in 1964? Pretty cool. And most importantly, we get the opportunity to feel the great joy that comes when we work collectively to serve others. Giving to others is so powerful, and doing it together is even greater. We shined our collective light on our community yesterday in a beautiful way. And thank you to all of you that contributed to make this amazing quilt of action happen. About this time next year, we'll do it again. And the theme for 2025 will just have to stay top secret.
Hold on, everybody. I want to take a moment here to step outside of the what's written on paper and just extend my deep felt thanks and appreciation to Leanne King and to the whole team of lead agents, Mandy Hitchcock, Becky Wilkes, Carol Brune, and to everybody who worked to make that day a success. So let us. And now we proceed with the service after the service. Please rise in body or in spirit and join in singing number 1028 in your teal hymnals, The Fire of Commitment. Let us sing out.
Into face every
and our future can begin.
Yesterday, we went out into the community. We removed invasive plants from Legion Park. We constructed planter boxes for a living community serving low-income seniors. We prepared garden beds for a farm that feeds people in our community with food insecurity. Yesterday, we went out into the community. We did service projects at El Centro Hispano, Charles House, and Frank Porter Graham Elementary. Yesterday, we went out into the community. We brought a busload of our congregants to Raleigh to march with the Poor People's Campaign. We sang at retirement communities. Yesterday, we reached out into the community. We made shawls for hospice. We made placemats, cards, and fresh-baked cookies for those receiving Meals on Wheels. We made countless pet toys for animals in local shelters. And we had a great time, gathering for meals, listening to music, pretending to be secret agents. We came together, young and not quite as young, longtime church members, and those who have just discovered our community, multi-generational community. We are a spiritual center with a civic circumference. This morning, we celebrate our reach beyond these walls. Come, let us worship and celebrate together.
The words for the chalice lighting are by Theodore Parker. You'll find them in the order of service. If you wish to do so, please join with me in reading them. Be ours a religion which, like sunshine, goes everywhere. Its temple, all space, its shrine, the good heart, its creed, all truth, its ritual, works of love, its profession of faith, divine living. We'll now have a musical presentation.
Jai
Each week we hold in our service time for sharing the joys and the sorrows that we bring with us into this community. It's during this time, if you've come with either a significant personal joy or a significant sorrow, that you're invited to come forward, coming down the side aisles. Place a stone in the water bowl. Speak your name and briefly, in a sentence or two, share your joy or your sorrow. Let us enter into this time of tenderness and trust. I think, Nancy, you'll go first.
My name is Nancy Mayer. Many of you know I'm on a cancer journey. But last Wednesday was the first anniversary of the last radiation treatment that I had to have. And I'm celebrated on Thursday morning by donating blood for the first time in over a year. It felt really good to be able to get back to a normal life where I normally was donating every 8 weeks. So going over a year for that donating was hard, and I'm glad to be able to start again.
Hi, I'm Sarah Clark Farnell. I have 2 joys to share. One I'm a little late on, but on Valentine's Day, my twins turned 7, so that's exciting. That means we've been with this congregation for a long time because I think they were like 1 when we started. And then the other joy I wanted to share is I was accepted into Duke's chaplain residency program for next year, which is a big deal for a lot of reasons, one of which it's going to be paid, which is really exciting. So just wanted to share that. Thank you.
Good morning, I'm Elise Sapner, and I have a joy to share. My daughter, who is in her mid-40s, just got accepted into NC State at a master's program. In addition to that, she got accepted as a teacher assistant, which included full tuition, full health care, and a stipend. And I'm really excited about that because I don't have to come up with tuition money. And in addition to that, yesterday, was the state UNC game, and I asked her, well, who are you going to, root for, Jill? And she said, Mom, I'm a state girl now.
Congratulations.
Good morning. I have a significant joy. At my school, we have a NJHS society, and it is a very prestigious thing, and I got accepted into it last week, and the ceremony was on Friday. Or was it Thursday? Friday? Okay. So that's been a very important thing to me, and it's also like a real turning point because I feel like I've really graduated from being like a little kid to a big kid in like clubs and stuff and like helping out my school. So I don't know, that made me feel good.
So, Glenn Davis, and a significant joy and sorrow. I'll start with the sorrow first. Visited last weekend with a distant relative whose husband is dying of ALS, and the family, the wife and husband, have significantly disabled children in addition, and their mother is in a 90 and in a nursing home nearby, and a lot of weight for Orly, the wife, to carry. So he's in great humor, a wonderful person, but great sadness in losing him certainly within the next year. The joy is, as he typed out, with his gaze on the computer, as he typed out, "I'm still here."
A final stone is placed this morning for all the joys and sorrows that we hold in our hearts that were not spoken. Let's take a moment to join together in the spirit of prayer and meditation. We hold in our hearts the joys and sorrows of this community. We hold those in our community facing illness, struggle, and loss. We hold in our community the celebrations of recovery, of life returning, of learning and education, of joy. As a community, we know that our joys and our sorrows, just as our service and our concern, extends far beyond these walls, reaching into our wider community, all around this state, this country, this world we call home. In the midst of all of our connections and our great care, let us hold a few moments of silence as we pay attention to the stirrings of our own hearts. I invite you to be still with me for a few moments. When I breathe in peace. When I breathe out love. Let us join in singing our sung meditation this morning, number 1009 in the Teal Hymnal, Meditation on Breathing.
I breathe in peace. When I breathe out, I breathe out love. When I breathe in, I breathe in peace. When I breathe out, I breathe out love. When I breathe I breathe in peace. When I breathe out, I breathe out love. When I breathe in, I breathe in peace. When I breathe out,
The responsive reading is number 567, entitled To Be True. It's in the back of the gray hymnal. If you would read the words in italics, I will read the other words. I want to be with people who submerge in the task, who go into the fields to harvest and work in a row and pass the bags along, who stand in the line and haul in their places, who are not parlor generals or field visitors, but move in common rhythm when the food must come in or the fire iron be put out. The work of the world is common as mud. Botched, it smears the hands, crumbles to dust. But the thing worth doing well done has a shape that satisfies, clean and evident. Greek amphoras for wine or oil, Hopi vases that held corn are put in museums, but you know they were made to be used. The pitcher cries for water to carry, and a person for work that is real. Freely have we received gifts that minister to our needs of body and spirit. Gladly we bring to our church and its wide concerns a portion of this bounty. If you wish to donate online, there is a QR code on the back of the order of service, and there is information on the church's website. We will now receive the morning offering.
Got plenty of then some, what do I do? Got plenty of then some, what do I do? I got plenty of then some, what do I do now? I go out and help somebody, get plenty of then some too. I got a roof over my head, what do I do? Got a roof over my head, what do I do? I got a roof over my head, what do I do now? I go out and help somebody get a roof over their head too. I got supper on the table, what do I do? I got supper on the table, what do I do? I got supper on the table, what do I do now? I go out and help somebody put supper on the table too. That's what I do. 'Cause I gotta give, I gotta give. And I got a lot to give away, it's the only way to live. 'Cause I gotta give, I gotta give. And when you have enough to give away, it's the only way to live. In heaven, that's what I do. I'm going to heaven, that's what I do. I'm going to heaven, that's what I do now. I go out and help somebody. Yeah, I go out and help somebody. I go out and help somebody. go to heaven too.
So from 2005 to 2019, the Unitarian Universalist Association had this practice of honoring breakthrough congregations every year. Breakthrough congregations were congregations that exhibited high levels of vitality, growth, innovation, creativity that had allowed them to kind of level up as a congregation. And every year, the Unitarian Universalist Association would select 3 or 4 congregations and designate them breakthrough congregations. And what you would get for that is that you would get an 8-minute video made about you that was posted online, as well as your congregation would get honored at General Assembly. And sometimes the congregation being honored as a breakthrough congregation had done something so exciting, vibrant, innovative, and creative that other people had heard about it, and it was like it went viral. There was such a buzz. Sometimes the congregation being honored as a breakthrough congregation was doing inspiring and noteworthy and vital and creative things, and was also really good at self-promotion. Was good at marketing themselves and publicizing themselves. Hey, everybody, look at this great thing that we're doing. And occasionally, on a couple of occasions, the congregations being honored as breakthrough congregations were simply good at talking about themselves. They talked a big game, even though they might not have had a track record that warranted the award. I'm not going to name any names. And a few congregations even engaged in deception, or perhaps self-deception, making braggadocious claims not grounded in reality. I'm sorry for being so petty this morning. Let me see if I can reframe things a little bit. This morning, I want to talk about the distinction between simply talking the talk and actually walking the walk. This morning, I want to talk about the difference between being performative and being real. This morning, I want to talk about the difference between appearing to do good and actually doing good. Do you remember those signs that popped up a few years ago in people's yards? The signs had a number of slogans in rainbow colors: no human is illegal, science is real, women's rights are human rights, love is love, and so forth. Anyone remember those signs? I'd drive by houses and yards in Chapel Hill and Carrboro and Durham and Chatham County with those signs, and I'd be like, yeah, right on, nice sign. And then I'd keep driving by, and I'd kind of wonder what the person in that house, the family in that house, what were they doing to live those values or to put those values into action? And I was curious. And so this morning, I want to talk about some of the ways that our church actually walks the walk. So last month, we sent Kat Good, our Assistant Director of Religious Education, to Seattle, Washington for the Our Whole Lives Training of Trainers. Our Whole Lives, or OWL for short, is our groundbreaking, award-winning human sexuality education curriculum co-created between the Unitarian Universalists and the United Church of Christ. It's fact-based, science-based, evidence-based, and fully LGBTQIA+ inclusive. It's one of the most important programs we offer. It's life-affirming, life-changing, and life-saving. Getting accepted to the training of trainers was highly competitive and highly selective, and Kat got accepted due to our congregation's real track record of offering OWL consistently and reliably year after year after year. The last time Our Whole Lives offered a training of trainers was 7 years ago, and this year they only accepted 20 people into this program, and of those 20, they only accepted 8 Unitarian Universalists, and Kat was one of the 8. It used to be that to get a new volunteer certified to teach Our Whole Lives, we would have to send them away for the weekend to some destination several states away. It was expensive and time-consuming. Now Kat is a certified Our Whole Lives trainer and is able to train OWL facilitators. And this summer, we're going to be partnering with the UU Fellowship of Raleigh and the Eno River UU Fellowship in Durham, and right here, to offer a training for Our Whole Lives facilitators. Here in the Triangle, we are becoming a central hub, a destination location for training Our Whole Lives facilitators. And what's more is, between our congregations, the plan is to reinvest the proceeds from these trainings, because they do make a little bit of money, into offering OWL facilitator trainings in the African American and Latina communities, so that we can expand the reach of OWL. Kat says of Our Whole Lives program, "I can say with confidence we have one of the most robust OWL programs nationwide. And the way our community supports OWL is simply unmatched. Love is love, science is real. For us, these are not simply words on a sign. We don't just talk the talk, we walk the walk. In recent years, we've been able to invest in and expand and grow Kat's position. We've been able to offer professional expenses, allowing her to go to Seattle. And the result is one of the most robust Our Whole Lives programs nationwide. This is work that is real. This is work that we are making possible as a community." There's another line on those yard signs: "No human is illegal." No human is illegal. It's incredibly timely in these days. It's one thing to put up a sign, it is another thing to walk the walk. It's one thing to let those words come from our lips, it's another thing to live the truth of these words in our actions and deeds. As a church, we are fortunate to have an asset that's very valuable. We have a house on our property with 4 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms. And a house in Chapel Hill with 4 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms is not a thing to be taken lightly. And we wondered several years ago, what if we put this house to use to house immigrant families, refugee families, families seeking sanctuary, families seeking asylum? After all, before our house was habitable, Rosa lived in sanctuary at the Church of the Reconciliation in a church office for more than 2 years. So, you can see the offices over there that we have, right? So we had, in our community, we had someone living in a church office for 2 years when our house was not yet ready we had some work to put in on it. So our Immigrant Justice Initiative was born, and we poured in hundreds and hundreds of hours into readying the house on our property, and our church committed tens of thousands of dollars to getting the manse connected to the city sewer. And since 2019, we have hosted, by my count, some 40 immigrants, refugees, and asylum seekers in a house on the church property. Some stayed for just a few weeks. I remember we did host a refugee family of 9 from Afghanistan for a month. Others have stayed for a year or more. And the Immigrant Justice Initiative of our church has worked tirelessly, and indeed they've worked not only tirelessly, but tiredly too, to help these families get legal representation, receive health care, dental care, mental health care, get work permits, enroll their children in school, and begin to make a life here in this country. One of the things that our Immigrant Justice Initiative has been able to celebrate recently are 2 stories of family reunification. In making the journey to come to this country, many families have to separate, leaving children behind. And our church played a role in bringing 2 different families back together, from reuniting children with their parents and with their siblings here. It's one thing to put up a sign that says no human is illegal. It's another thing to house, accompany, and support. It's another thing to say, we will work to reunite you with your child. There are signs that say women's rights are human rights. And in our church, we do more than put out signs, we organize. Out of our congregation, thanks to the work of Melva Oken and our Side with Love ministry, we founded the Triangle Interfaith Reproductive Justice Coalition. Before that, there was no way for congregations with shared values to work together to promote reproductive justice and reproductive freedom. Now, because of that ministry in our church and because of Melva, now there is. And just one more thing. It is one thing to talk about justice. It's another thing to support it. So here in North Carolina, we have a statewide Unitarian Universalist justice ministry. It's led by Reverend Lisa Garcia Sampson, who is our affiliated community minister. And I found out something very recently, which is that our church is the largest financial supporter of the UU Justice Ministry of North Carolina. We're the church that gives the most money to them, more than any other UU church in the state. Some people talk about justice more than we do, but actions speak louder than words. And by the way, next Sunday, Reverend Lisa is going to be visiting us, and we'll be doing the Share the Plate for UU Justice NC. So let's keep walking the walk. I want to tie these things together. Our whole lives, the Immigrant Justice Initiative, the Triangle Interfaith Reproductive Justice Coalition, the UU Justice Ministry of North Carolina, and how for each of these, and with each of these, we do work that is real. We show up as real people and as a real community. We bring real things to the table. Real people, real commitment, and real money. Many have noted that there is a quality to our contemporary living that seems superficial. My colleague Fred Wooden recently observed that we live in a culture where being seen as good is more important than the good that you do. And our lives can become performative. Social media allows us to create a carefully curated image. We're allowed to perform our lives online. French Marxist philosopher Guy Debord called this the society of the spectacle. And he observed that the spectacle reduces reality to an endless supply of commodifiable fragments, encouraging us to focus on appearances. And that when we focus on appearances, that comes with a degrading of our lives. Instead, not only can the focus on appearances be a distraction from real work and real community, but platitudes and statements, when they are not backed up by action, actually increase despair. Let me say that again. When we see signs with platitudes and statements and memes, and those are not actually undergirded by action, it actually increases our despair. Talking the talk without walking the walk is worse than silence. And here we have an antidote. The words I chose for the chalice lighting this morning are some of my favorite words. from the great Unitarian Transcendentalist minister Theodore Parker. They're words about living your faith. Let the shrine of our religion be the good heart. Let our ritual be works of love. Let our profession of faith be divine living. Religion is not about thinking the right thoughts or believing the right beliefs or saying the right words. It's about how we really live our lives. All this year, we've been exploring the theme of connection. We began the year with a responsive reading from our hymnal by Marge Piercy, "Connections Are Made Slowly." And this morning, as we celebrate our amazing day of service, as we consider real connections we make and share with each other and with the wider community, I chose a different Marge Piercy reading. I want to be with people who submerge in the task, the poet writes, who go into the fields to harvest and work in a row and pass the bags along, who are not parlor generals or field deserters or social media posters. The pitcher cries for water to carry and a person for work that is real. Weave real connections, create real nodes, build real houses, the poet writes. So proud of all the real work that we did yesterday. The real work of making placemats and cookies, building habitat houses, the real work of going out and cleaning up at Charles House in El Centro Hispano, the real work of singing, the real work of marching and showing up. So proud of the real work we do that allows our church to have an impact beyond our walls, to change lives and save lives and reunite families. Keep being that real community. And we'll conclude this morning by singing a song that is about not just saying the right words, but living our values. So I invite you to rise in body or in spirit and sing number 34, "Though I May Speak with Brave."
The
The words for extinguishing the chalice are in your order of service. Please join me in saying them if you wish to do so. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again. Let's thank all those who contributed to this morning's service. Please join in singing Shalom. The words are in your order of service. As you are comfortable, please either hold hands with the person next to you or cross your arms over your heart.